Under Operation Epic Fury, U.S. and Israeli forces are currently conducting a massive series of airstrikes against military targets across Iran. The strikes have physically altered the Tehran skyline, sending plumes of smoke over the capital as diplomatic relations reach a breaking point. With 4 American service members confirmed dead, the White House has reportedly shown serious interest in mobilizing ground troops for a full-scale invasion. This escalation has renewed focus on the Selective Service System, the database used to track nearly all male U.S. citizens aged 18 to 25. It is the legal mechanism that would allow the government to restart a military draft. Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt confirmed that while conscription is not in the current plan, the president intends to keep his options open. As she put it, the draft is officially not off the table. For a generation of young men, a distant geopolitical conflict has become a direct threat to their civilian lives. The prospect of being legally required to serve in a lethal war has created a sudden national crisis. In response, the hashtag #SendBarron began trending almost instantly. It hijacked the national conversation, shifting the focus from the draft itself to the president's youngest son. Toby Morton, a comedian and former writer for South Park, organized the campaign. Morton has a history of using political parody websites to challenge the administration's policy decisions. His Draft Barron website uses the aesthetics of military conscription posters to place Barron Trump at the center of the debate. The site mocks the president's perceived indifference toward the deaths of service members. The campaign's logic is straightforward. If the president is willing to mobilize the nation's youth for a ground war, he should demonstrate leadership by deploying his own family members to the front lines. By tying the president's bloodline to the war's consequences, the campaign turned a 20-year-old student into a primary symbol of the anti-draft movement. Barron Trump's recent 20th birthday changed his public status. He is now a legal adult, which effectively ended the unspoken rule that the children of presidents are off-limits for political criticism. His profile now carries international weight. During an official White House visit, Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi used her speech to acknowledge his growth and his birthday before a room of world leaders. The president himself spent much of the 2024 election cycle building a narrative around his son. He framed Barron as a key strategist behind the campaign's success. Specifically, the president credited Barron with directing him toward youth-oriented podcasts like Joe Rogan and Theo Von, a move that helped the campaign reach a demographic often missed by traditional media. Online supporters took this further, claiming Barron has an IQ of 170. This figure was repeated by the president during his own appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast, fueling speculation about his son's intellectual potential. This chart maps the statistical rarity of this claim. A 170 IQ score places a person in the top 0.0001% of the global population. While Barron likely falls within the gifted range of 120 to 140, a score of 170 is an extreme anomaly. By marketing Barron as a genius political strategist, the president inadvertently validated the internet's decision to treat his son as a legitimate political figure. Despite the mastermind myth, Barron's daily life is highly insulated. He currently lives inside the White House for his sophomore year of college. He is enrolled at NYU's Washington, D.C. campus, where he studies business while remaining within his family's fortified environment. His academic life is defined by isolation. He is constantly surrounded by Secret Service details, a security presence that reportedly prevents normal interaction with his classmates. Melania Trump maintains a protective role, monitoring his whereabouts to ensure he remains shielded from public interference. His actual focus appears to be his business core classes and a planned relaunch of a luxury real estate firm that targets high-end properties in the western U.S. Beneath the political marketing, Barron lives in a gilded cage. He is isolated from the public and focused on private business, entirely disconnected from the war his father is commanding. The #SendBarron campaign presents a specific ultimatum. The president's son should trade his White House residence for combat gear and share the physical risks of the soldiers currently in Iran. However, the U.S. military maintains rigid physical standards for all recruits. These biological requirements apply to everyone, regardless of their family's political standing. This chart shows maximum height limitations for military service. For the Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, and Space Force, enlistment is capped at 6 feet 8 inches. The Marine Corps is even more restrictive. No recruit can be taller than 6 feet 6 inches. Barron Trump is 6 feet 9 inches tall. According to official regulations, he is biologically disqualified from serving in any branch of the U.S. military. Even if the draft returned, Barron's own biology acts as a literal shield. Between his family's status and his physical height, he remains untouched by the consequences of his father's geopolitical decisions.